If you're having problems with your septic system and you're tired of spending so much money each year to have it pumped, then SeptiClean is the answer for you. SeptiClean is an advanced specially formulated blend of bacteria used in the treatment of home and commercial septic systems. The breakdown of waste in your system relies on biological activity of naturally occurring bacteria. SeptiClean restores the natural biological process in your septic system and boosts the existing biological activity. SeptiClean is completely safe on all plumbing and can help prevent expensive emergencies in pumping. SeptiClean has approximately 6 to 100 times the bacteria count of other leading off-the-shelf brands in a 1-year supply. SeptiClean comes in a water-soluble pack, which you flush down the toilet once a month with no mess or stress. Save time, money, and maintenance on your septic system. Find SeptiClean at Emporium True Value Hardware on Main Street in Sag Harbor or visit micro-tab.com. That's micro-tabb.com. Micro-tabb.com.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. The Buffalo Bills gave us a lot to cheer about yesterday, didn't they? Snapping the Chiefs' undefeated streak is no small feat, and as the only NFL team that actually plays in New York State, they gave us another reason to be proud. But while we're celebrating on the field, there's a troubling play unfolding off of it, one that's costing taxpayers big time. Let's talk about the Bills' new stadium in Orchard Park, which was originally supposed to cost $1.35 billion. Well, that number has been sacked and replaced with a jaw-dropping $2.1 billion price tag, a nearly 50% increase, and guess who's helping foot the bill? That's right, us. Taxpayers in New York State are on the hook for $850 million, with $600 million from the state and $250 million from Erie County. That's nearly 40% of the project. But wait, it gets worse. Back in 2021, when this deal was sold to the public, we were told the taxpayer burden would cover more than half the cost. Now, we find out that not only are costs skyrocketing, but the taxpayer's share hasn't budged. Instead, billionaire owners Terry and Kim Pagula are stepping up to cover the overruns, and we're supposed to applaud them for this? Here's the kicker. The Pagulas are billionaires, and the Bills are a billion-dollar franchise. They're not exactly passing the hat around to keep the lights on, yet the state and county have handed them a subsidy sweeter than a Sunday win over Kansas City. Bills President Pete Guiella says this is all about commitment to the community and ensuring a best-in-class stadium. That's nice, but where's the commitment to taxpayers? New Yorkers are already paying through the nose in taxes for schools, infrastructure, and services that directly benefit us all. Now we're being asked to subsidize a stadium for a private entity so they can rake in profits from ticket sales, luxury suites, and naming rights? Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz insists it's a pretty good deal because the county's share is only 12%. Well, Mark, 12% of a bad deal is still a bad deal. This is corporate welfare, plain and simple. And what about the promises of an entertainment zone with bars, restaurants, and shops? Call me cynical, but those are shiny distractions to make us forget that taxpayers are getting blitzed. The Bills Stadium deal is yet another example of the raw deal hardworking New Yorkers keep getting. We're taxed to the max while billionaires keep making big bucks. The public was misled about the true cost of this project, and now we're stuck paying the price. Here's an idea. If Terry and Kim Pagula want a world-class stadium, let them pay for it. Every last dime. That's what responsible businesses do. Instead, we've got billionaires passing the bill to taxpayers and politicians patting themselves on the back for helping.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
I'm Cindy Lauper. My psoriasis was all over, even on my scalp, which may mean 4 times the risk for psoriatic arthritis. But Cosentyx works on both.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentix.com or 1-844-COSENTIX. Ask your doctor about Cosentix.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. When I spoke about the Haltermans versus Whoopie Goldberg saga last Friday, I didn't think it would turn into one of the hottest stories of the weekend. Yet here we are. Staten Island's beloved Haltermans Bakery is riding a massive wave of support, while Whoopie Goldberg seems to be doubling down. Let's recap what happened since Friday. First, the outpouring of love for Haltermans has been nothing short of extraordinary. On Friday alone, the lines outside the bakery stretched around the block from the moment they opened at 7:30 a.m. until closing at 6 p.m. Longtime customers and first-timers alike flocked to the 146-year-old institution to buy coffee cakes, birthday cakes, and yes, the infamous Charlotte Russe. In fact, Haltermans nearly sold out of everything they baked that day, with sales rivaling their busiest Thanksgiving and Christmas seasons. And I was going to go, but apparently it was an hour-long wait at some point. There was a nice press conference there featuring a lot of the elected officials, both Democratic and Republican, and it wasn't just a local phenomenon. People from as far away as Ohio called the bakery to place orders. Even the Staten Island Borough President and the other public officials that showed up to stand in solidarity with Haltermans. The bakery's owner, Jill Halterman Bowers, expressed her gratitude, saying, quote, "We give to Staten Island all the time, volunteering, doing everything else," as I pointed out on Friday, by the way. "So I'm so happy seeing everybody coming out to support us." Meanwhile, Whoopie Goldberg didn't exactly soften her stance. Over the weekend, she posted a video on social media. Let's take a listen to a little bit of what she had to say.
So there seems to be a lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday show. I never mentioned the name of the bakery or the location. It does seem a little odd that when we called a few weeks before my birthday and we were told they couldn't process the order for my birthday because of an equipment failure, and somehow they were able to accept an order of a different 48 of the same dessert when somebody else called without using my name. But it's all okay, y'all, because I enjoyed my delicious dessert and I had a happy, sweet birthday. Nothing better than that.
So, there you have it. No apology, just a sorry if you were offended kind of statement. While Whoopi tries to lower the temperature, her words come across as more fuel on the fire for Halterman's supporters. What we're witnessing here is the intersection of culture, commerce, and community. It's not just about desserts anymore, it's about principles. People see Halterman's as a symbol of small-town charm, of a business doing its best under challenging circumstances, and they're rallying to protect it from what they view as an unfair attack. For now, Halterman's is basking in a wave of goodwill, while Whoopi is navigating some rocky PR waters. Will she sweeten her stance, or will this feud keep baking in the oven of public opinion?
Beam me up!
To be continued.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
The New York Daily News, in their editorial over the weekend, absolutely hit the nail right on the head. And I don't say that lightly. This is an editorial board that has repeatedly attacked me. They called me a court jester, a gadfly, a hack with a talent for wasting taxpayer money. Yet I find myself in complete agreement with them. The cost of living in New York City is sky high. Housing costs through the roof. So why, I ask, is the city council so determined to make it even more expensive to live here? Let me present Exhibit A. A bill proposed by Bronx Councilwoman Piernia Ana Sanchez. This legislation would require a licensed plumber to install common household appliances like dishwashers, ice makers, instant hot water dispensers, and, wait for it, even coffee machines. Yes, coffee machines! Most New Yorkers know the drill. You go to Best Buy or PC Richard & Son, buy your appliance, and either install it yourself or get your super or the delivery person to help. Simple and cost-effective, right? Not if this bill passes. Suddenly, you'll need a licensed plumber whose hourly rates can easily run north of $100. Now, some parts of Sanchez's proposal make sense, like requiring plumbers for anything involving natural gas pipes. But lumping in appliances, it feels like overreach. What's next? Mandating electricians to plug in a toaster? And that brings us to Exhibit B, a bill by Brooklyn's Councilwoman Farrah Lewis. It would mandate annual inspections of steam radiators in apartments with children under 6. These inspections would also need to be conducted by a licensed plumber or someone under their supervision. Yes, there have been tragic incidents involving radiators, like the heartbreaking cases in Midwood and the Bronx. Safety is paramount, and I won't argue otherwise. But is this the best solution? Steam heat is standard in about 80% of the city's buildings, and we already have oversight systems in place. Why not let building staff handle inspections and call in a plumber only when something seems off? Forcing expensive professionals to check every radiator feels excessive, especially when there's a more practical solution. This type of overregulation reminds me of the new annual parapet inspection law. It's designed to prevent collapses of rooftop walls. Good in theory, right? But in practice, it's caused mass confusion. Contractors are sending alarmist notices to building owners, sometimes to properties without parapets, causing unnecessary panic and expenses. We all want safer housing and better protections for tenants, but there's a balance to be struck. Smart regulations? Absolutely. Overreach that burdens already struggling New Yorkers? Not so much.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision-crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
It's so funny how someone can affect your life profoundly and often without you even knowing their name. Such was the case with Von Ritshie, the Long Island Railroad voice actor who became a cherished and often mimicked presence for commuters. He passed away on Sunday, November 3rd, following a brief illness. His family announced a couple of days ago he was 80 years old. He was one of Long Island's most iconic voices. He had that unmistakable cadence announcing Ron Konkoma to Long Island Railroad passengers, and now this voice has fallen silent.
This is the train to Ronkonkoma. The next station is Jamaica. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform.
Speaking of commuting and the MTA, though, it looks like this week the MTA board is going to vote on Governor Kathy Hochul's outrageous proposal to bring back congestion pricing and try to ram it through before Donald Trump takes office on January 20th. And what we're hearing is exactly what all of us feared, which is they, of course, are making it $9 instead of $15 to start, but it's not going to remain at $9 for the base fare. The MTA is planning to ramp up Manhattan's congestion pricing tolls to $15 in 2031. That is a sharp increase from the $9 charge that Hochul announced last week. These are according to documents published by the MTA. The documents show the price of the base toll for passenger vehicles will grow to $12 in 2028, and then by 2031, they will be $15. And I got news for you. These tolls are never going down. They are only going in one direction. This is a disaster substantively. It's going to hurt the bottom line of hardworking New Yorkers like me, quite frankly. It's going to hurt the cost of everything in Manhattan because trucks have to pay even more to bring stuff into Manhattan. But as bad as the substance of this is, the process by which this is being rammed through is even worse. I am hopeful that even if she gets this going by January, which is apparently her goal, that the new Trump administration is able to put a stop to this, because this is not fair. This is not a partisan issue. There was a big rally over the weekend with Democrats and Republicans all uniting in opposition to this, and I can't believe the governor is so tone deaf politically that she doesn't see the message that the voters just sent, but apparently she is. We'll see what happens.
Beam me up.
To be continued.